So this is Nick Williams, I'm sitting here with Christine Livingston. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
So we've been talking about new work pioneers and kind of new visions for work. And one of the questions that obviously comes up is for many people, they feel it's not possible to change radically in what they're doing. Maybe they actually do like working in an organisation, they can't see a way of getting out, or they actually want to stay there but they want to make their experience better.
Yeah.
So do you have some tips for helping people make their experience of work better, even if they're working in a culture that they don't particularly treasure?
Yes. And by the way, I do very much agree that not everybody will end up being a solopreneur, for example.
I don't think it does suit everybody.
No. I think a lot of people are at their best in organisations. The challenge is how they bring themselves to that experience and therefore have a meaningful and fulfilling experience in the process. One of the key things for me, I think, is the whole concept of choice. My experience of organisations working both internally and as a consultant to them is that they can be quite parental in their whole kind of...
They kind of set the rules, the boundaries,
That's it.
Tell you how you're expected to behave.
Exactly. And that was the way organisations or companies were set up in the first place. It was very hierarchical. It's very, I am blessing you with a contract of employment, you should be grateful. There's all of that kind of stuff, which is really stifling, for a lot of people. And what I encourage people to do is to consider that they have a choice, not to kind of be a child to the organisation's parent, but to
So either conform or rebel.
Exactly.
So how to be more adult.
That's it.
Great.
That's absolutely right.
And how do people begin to do that? How do they become more adult rather than kind of parent-child?
I think that it's helpful for people to understand that actually they are okay. I think a lot of people can really discount their own skills and capabilities.
Very much so.
So there's something about really sort of challenging yourself to stand in your own shoes and recognise your own worth, and to take your worth and your value into the company that you're working for and do it in a grown-up way.
One of the ways that I've thought about things recently, and I kind of balked against it to start with, I'd be interested in your perspective, is to actually think of ourselves, even if we're employed, as a kind of personal brand, as a kind of, you incorporated, even if you think you're always going to be an employee.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea to see yourself almost as your own brand?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that's of benefit to people?
Because I think that allows people to get closer to asking themselves questions around who am I uniquely and what can I uniquely offer here.
Yeah.
And I think it's helpful for people to think about themselves not just in terms of this current contract of employment, but what they personally want from their lives.
Yeah.
And what it is about this particular job that satisfies that in a bigger sense, so that they kind of unhook themselves from some of the games that go on in big companies and have a bigger sense that they're developing something of themselves here too. They get something back.
Yeah, because one of the things I like about this kind of personal brand idea is that it makes you think of yourself and your strengths, your qualities, what you contribute, so that it does bring you, as you say, into a more adult relationship with your employer.
Yes.
That you're saying, this is what I'm good at, this is what I bring to the organisation sees that, and therefore they want to keep me on board to keep contributing.
Yes.
But also then if I left my job, I'd still be a brand and I could still take that to other people that would want to hire me.
That's right, and I'm not dependent on this particular
It's breaking that dependency thing, isn't it? Because
exactly.
so often, we feel dependent on our employer, so therefore we act in ways that are either compliant or rebellious, and then we end up not being the mature, grown-up people we can be.
Yes, and then we're not bringing the best of ourselves.
We're not being autonomous.
Exactly.
Great. So any other tips you have for people about how to kind of bring the best of themselves to their organisation?
I think, as well as having a kind of branding mindset, there's something about seeing each job as a kind of freelance opportunity, if you like. So thinking about yourself as a consultant, or and kind of breaking down the elephant, because I think organisations and employed jobs can be very amorphous, and so something about sort of putting timelines and deliverables and contracting for yourself and for the person you work with at different points in time what it is you're going to deliver and how you're going to do that, so that you kind of just get much more clarity into the equation for yourself and for the business, and to understand that you know excuse me, things change. You know, so you might think that you're in a kind of cushy job now and that it will last forever, but actually nothing lasts forever.
No.
And you shouldn't expect it to. And, you know, even the skill set your employer requires of your job might change. And is that not going to be okay for you?
Yeah, and for you to take charge of that in a way, and again, not to be dependent and not wait for the tsunami of change to hit you.
Exactly.
But to kind of be going, okay, I can see what might be coming down the line, how am I going to respond to that?
Exactly.
As opposed to thinking, how am I going to react when it hits me?
Exactly.
Right. Another little tip I might have just to finish off is also, I think, you know, if you're of like mind, you know, if you have a particular kind of worldview and you can find a few other like-minded people in an organisation, I think that can be very precious, because often the organisation doesn't think like we're thinking.
Yeah.
So you can often feel like you really are pushing against
Absolutely.
the tide. But even if you can find one or two or three other people that can be kind of supports and, you know, what I call dream builders with you, help you build your sense of self-esteem and self-worth.
Absolutely.
I think that's wonderful, just to kind of get that little network within the organisation and meet regularly and support each other.
Yes.
To become the best that you can be.
Yeah, build your own community.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much. We're going to bring this part of our interviews to a conclusion, and we're going to have some more to come. So thanks for watching this. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you.